welcome to Cosmos with Bailey. I'm Bailey, and I'm a clairvoyant, psychic medium, and spiritual healer based in New Zealand. So, today's video is going to be one that I have been thinking to do for quite a while, and also I've been having a lot of dreams around discernment and the idea of sisterhood and finding resonance. So, this video is going to be on the sisterhood and finding resonance with female friendships, because I know that in the divine feminine realms or the spiritual realms of the idea of sisterhood, that can mean very different things to many different groupings of women and where they're experiencing their feminine energy. And I know that when we first start working with the divine feminine, we really deeply want to believe that all females can be a part of the sisterhood, but that is also not where we are currently experiencing our consciousness on the earth. We still have things like unloving mothers. We still have a lot of unhealed feminine energy on the earth that's expressing through the old world planetary consciousness. There are still a lot of women that are deeply disempowered and disconnected from the divine feminine. And then you also have women who are on their journey with the divine feminine, but have not fully understood, grounded, or integrated the divine feminine. So that there are many different realms and expressions of feminine energy and what sisterhood or the divine feminine means, or the divine feminine sisterhood. And personally, for me, in my experience, I don't resonate nor do I fit in with the idea of spiritual sisterhood. I am more looking to go out and about into the everyday real world and find female friendships, maybe through hobbies, classes, and jobs that I am deeply resonant with on a spirit level with my essence, or there's a strong resonance with this woman's energy. So that's how I view sisterhood, and I don't quite view it as the divine feminine sisterhood as a grown woman and a woman who's a bit more mature with the divine feminine essence. All you really want to be doing is getting out and about and enjoying life and finding women who are sitting at the same spiritual maturity level you are within the feminine essence. This is just a discernment. It is a part of life that there are many different experiences of female energy on the earth, and that we're not all coming from the same understanding of what sisterhood and the divine feminine energy means. And we're not meant to be all lumped together in one sisterhood, because we are all unique souls who want different things or experience different things in life. And this is just, this is common sense, that when it comes to female friendships and you're a bit more mature, you want to align with other women who are also mature and empowered in a similar state of resonance to you and your spirit. So you're not going to be able as a woman to fit in with everyone. You cannot. And a big part of feminine maturity and also authenticity is staying true to your essence and what you feel comfortable with female friendships and what you're wanting to experience in female friendships. What can happen is that we can get really intertwined, especially if we have not a strong sense of self with other women's behavior or psychic energies. If you go back to the divine feminine psychic boundaries and grace video, I talk a little bit more about that. And that, it's more so about finding groups of women. I think especially depending on where your journey is with the divine feminine, sometimes it takes a while to find those mature, grounded female friendships. And you'll usually find that you'll be guided to them over time, and it's not this massive ideal of sisterhood. What I've seen in this old world consciousness idea of the divine feminine sisterhood it is very us versus them mentality. And if you don't fit in with the group pecking order or the energetic resonance of that grouping of women, you can be ousted. it's very, very common for that. I want to say flight or flight survivalist. You're not fitting in with the group mentality. You need to leave. This has happened to me a lot in work environments where I've had a lot of, I didn't fit in with the work environment feminine energy, and you can experience a type of survivalist attack or ousting of the social group as a female. So that should be a discernment in itself that that group of feminine energy most likely isn't for you if that keeps happening. From a mature understanding. And you really want to discern quality over quantity. And when you really start maturing in the divine feminine essence and your idea of female friendships, you're going to be discerning about what type of feminine energy you're keeping around you, and if that's beneficial to your unique and authentic expression of life and what you want to experience as a woman. I've also found that with working with the womb, my idea of sisterhood matured greatly, and that I was no longer interested in being a punching bag or a type of dumping ground for other women's wounding and pain and trauma, which is very common. We can believe as women, I think, especially if you've grown up with a mother who lacked boundaries herself, that female friendship involves being self-sacrificial for other females, and that's not healthy, nor is it empowering with the feminine essence. And you can also believe that trying to save other females or trying to empower other females all the time is not something you want to be doing in your everyday life. If you have children, if you have a marriage, if you've got other things to focus on or a business, you're wanting to align with other women that are on the same resonance and understanding of you and are supportive of you and you're supportive of them, whilst being mature and respectful with energetic and psychic boundaries. So this brings me to cultivating standards and how you would like to experience female friendships, and understanding of wounding and triggering in others, and not really taking that on as your responsibility. I know it's dependent on what happened in your childhood. You could just accept and tolerate really bad female friendships because of what you experienced from your own mother, or you became a caretaker in your childhood or teens. Also, what happens in our teens with female friendships can deeply set up feelings of I can't trust other females are going to throw me under the bus. If you have feelings like that, you're probably not in the right female friendships. Usually when you're with the right female friendships, we all have disagreements. A lot of the times, and we all have different perspectives and points of view on things, that is a part of life, and not everyone's going to view the divine feminine in the way that you view the divine feminine. And a part of maturity and mature friendships is that you can disagree and come to a well-rounded conclusion together and still be friends, and still understand that that's not for you, but that's for them. So knowing you are not responsible for unloving or disrespectful behavior from other women, this comes to divine feminine grace, etiquette, and poise with psychic boundaries. And finding unique and joyous connections outside of divine feminine spirituality. I've found, there's so many people out there that are not necessarily a part of the spiritual community, but are very deeply, quietly spiritual, and you just never know who you're going to meet when you get out and about. And just enjoying life and trusting that you will find like-minded women along your journey. I know there's just so much conflict around the idea of the divine feminine and the sisterhood, and I really wanted to put a video out there that was more empowered, practical, and common sense, and that you're not obligated as a highly spiritual woman to sort of be a part of groupings or sisterhoods just because they are spiritual. I think that's so important to say, and you're not obligated to stay in groupings just because of the idea of the divine feminine. And it's more so about behavior and etiquette and poise in other women, as opposed to the idea or the costume of the divine feminine. And at the end of the day, sisterhood is about supporting and experiencing women in their unique divine feminine essence, and loving that in women, and that not all women have to express the divine feminine in the same way. And so that's sisterhood in many ways. And that, yeah, you do not have to fit. And if you find you're not fitting in with a group of sisterhood or women, then it's probably not for you. I know there's a big thing on resonance in groupings of women. Sometimes you may be holding a lot more maturity than another grouping of women, and that's a discernment to understand that that female grouping maybe isn't for you, or where you're experiencing yourself, and that's okay. I just felt like it was so important to put out a common sense understanding of sisterhood and what that may entail for you, and how you know and express female friendships as a woman. This has been very helpful for me. I've tried, as I've matured and through my own divine feminine journey, I've really began to understand the true meaning of sisterhood, and that sometimes you are going to be out there by yourself for a while until you've integrated and matured and you're ready to find those types of women that are on the same understanding and maturity level as you. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I hope this was beneficial.